Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Oakland Athletics. In our previous episode, we actually made the playoffs. We were defeated in the wild card series, unfortunately, which is okay. We still have room to grow, and we are showing some definite improvements. We've already made most of our salary arbitration offers, which is really good. And we're going to try to get at least a draft pick for Mr. Brian Reynolds, because I think it's highly unlikely that we'll be able to bring him back. We do have some money for free agents. However, we don't have a lot of money for extensions. So we'll have to see what happens. So Liam Hendricks is going to go. Oh, that's right. You're grumpy because reasons. Yeah, so we're going to save some money, but a lot's going to depend on how the rest of this works out. Okay. Frienderinos, let us go ahead and advance time a bit, unless we have coaching to deal with, which I don't believe that we do. We have a new hitting coach on offer, and we're offering a couple of coaches lower on, so let us advance in a forward direction. David Carpenter thinks he can get a better offer. I will offer you $150,000. It's more money than I earn. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Okay, a bunch of people have taken one-year deals. Tom Gianelli has been offered more money. What about $200,000? Okay, good. So pretty much everybody agreed to new one-year deals. And that's great. That is fantastic. Fantabulistic, if you will. And if you won't, that's okay too. It's been designated for assignment. Bailey Falter. Sure, you can be on the roster and all. That seems fun. Okay. Let's go to the end of award season. I don't think we'll probably get much. We might, but it seems somewhat unlikely. Do get Cameron Misner back. Oh, I need room on the 38-man roster. I'm not going to lie, Zach Galoff is pretty terrible. I wonder if I could trade him for something of interest. I would prefer a prospect of some nature. I can get Joe Mack, who is not terrible, but also not amazing. I think it's probably the best we're going to do. So trade completed, which means now I can activate Mr. Cameron Misner, and it'll be great. Now, if we do lose Brian Reynolds, which is very possible, that's going to make this a tricky year coming up, because we're not going to have as much offensive firepower without him. We can always hope to get some reasonably good offers, but I'm not terribly convinced it's going to be very likely, but we can see what happens. I didn't even get anyone for Rookie of the Year? Like, how close was I to getting a Rookie of the Year? I had nobody. Okay. Cool. It's fine. You know what? Maybe I didn't want any awards. Awards are for losers. That's what I've always said. Yes. Absolutely not for Charlie Blackmon. If you're a fan of the Rockies, please tell me that's not the actual nickname he has, because that's fucking stupid. It's the dumbest I've heard in a while. Gotta give me some Bartolo Colon. Nelson Cruz gets a bit of love from me. Just from playing as long as he did more than anything else. I do think King Felix has a legit shot. I'll vote for Klubot and John Lester. Joe Mauer. Brian McCann. Yadier Molina. I don't see Salvador Perez, quite honestly. I'll go for Buster Posey, but I don't know about Salvador Perez. And the rest of you guys aren't that impressive. A-Rod, obviously, is more than worthy, as is CC Sabathia. I'll give Chase at least some props. I don't think it's going to matter. Justin Verlander, though, seems like a fair bet. Joey Votto, Adam... Oh. I can have Joey Votto or Adam Wainwright, not both. I'm going to actually remove John Lester and add Adam Wainwright, because I think Adam Wainwright is more deserving. No, I do need to kick somebody else off my list. Chase Utley can hang out for a year. Because I think Adam Wainwright needs to vote more than he does. So yeah, I'm going to submit my ballot now. What that museum is cool. Maybe I should visit it. I always did like Nolan Ryan. Okay. Wow. Alright, Bailey Falter, where to be a jerk. So the good news is Brian Reynolds declined the offer, which means we should get a decent contract if somebody else signs him. Which is nice. Alright, you will give me Jeff McNeil. I'm listening. I don't hate the idea of Jeff McNeil, but I don't think he's a good fit for the team. And that's an awfully big haul for a left fielder. I think I shall decline your offer. Leonardo Lugo. Lugo's a reliever. He's not a bad one, but meh. And Wilfred Veras is also kind of meh. No, I think I want Shea Langoliers for at least one more season before deciding what to do with him, so... Alright, what are we looking for? I need a new starting left fielder. That might be Vavra, though. He's not a terrible choice. Our pitching staff is mostly fine. We do need offensive help, though. Is there any position that seems particularly weak? I mean, really just about any of them other than first base. A little bit bummed that Tyler Soderstrom didn't get very many votes. I'm wondering if his issue, though, is he wasn't actually a rookie. I don't know. Well, before we make any drastic choices, let's take a quick old peek. Oh, by the way, Paul Skeens definitely is going to get a chance to pitch in the majors this year. That's a given. As soon as my dude is ready, he's going to be going up to the big leagues for... Yeah. I mean, I could get some cheap bullpen reinforcements. Is that something I want to invest in? I mean, Chad Smith is nothing special. I don't know. Okay, so the first step is I'm not going to take any hitter that's worse than a 55, but I'm not going to take any pitcher that's worse than a 50. That's our starting point. So we're looking at 50s and 55s or above. Frankie Montas isn't terrible. I think we could make something work with that. Jorge Lopez has really good stuff and pretty good movement. His control isn't great, but he still had a pretty decent track record of keeping his walk rate fairly low. So either one of these guys would be a nice signing. Maybe even both. But I think for right now... I think we take Jorge Lopez. I'm going to offer you a one-year deal. Great. Ian Happ certainly wouldn't be a bad choice. I'm just not convinced he offers much in the way that I don't already have. Who are my best hitters at the moment if we sort by ratings? We've got a decent amount of contact guys. We've got some power, and we've got some eye. So the benefit of getting Kyle here is, first of all, he is from California, which is kind of cool. But he's also very good defensively. But then again, I've already got Pozo, right? And Pozo kind of fills two different roles. I could always use a better DH. So let's sort by Batting ratings. And let's find a really good contact hitter because that's a great place to start. Josh Naylor wants an awful lot of money. But he could be worth it. Like, he's a really good all-around hitter, and that's always going to have lots of value to it. Like, I'm assuming Bo Bichette wants, like, too much money. Yeah, that makes sense. I think Josh Naylor definitely has some attraction if he's going to take a shorter term deal. I did not want a note. I wanted a contract offer. Do not shortlist him. Offer him a contract. Oh, he wants to get signed long term. I can't afford that. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to wait a little bit until after the draft. Until after the Rule 5. And then maybe make a couple of offers. Because right now, like, I'm not going to offer a multi-year deal to any of these guys. I'd rather have the financial flexibility to add someone later. Yeah, I can't have Brian Reynolds. That's not an option for me. I'm looking for, like, rental players. Somebody that looks like they're pretty solid, or maybe needs, like, a bit of a career renaissance that I could then flip for somebody else. Ian Happ just doesn't seem like a good fit. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, even at this price, is a little bit too pricey. Yeah, I'm just not convinced that there's much here. Because the only person I really would want to replace is my catcher. Because I think Shea Langoliers is always going to be a bit of a dodgy proposition. If he's hitting lots of homers, that's great. But the rest of his skill set isn't that well developed. So what if I signed Higashioka and then traded Langoliers? I certainly wouldn't be worse off, and we might even be better off. The question is, though, who becomes our catcher of the future if we trade Langoliers? Is it Susac? There's nothing wrong with Susac, but at least Langoliers has one skill that's really outstanding. Oh, there's also Joe Mack, but Joe Mack can't play catcher that well. There's moving Pozo as the permanent catcher and then trading Langoliers. I guess before we decide, am I definitely trading Langoliers, the real question is, what could we get for him? What is on lay table? Let's start by just looking at general prospects. There are some. Could I get a multi-prospect package? Okay. Gilberto Cabello is very, very raw. I want someone a bit more advanced than him. Luis Guevara, not terribly thrilling. Claymerson Chavez isn't a starter. Nick Kurtz is fine, but hardly remarkable. Okay, let's start with Jay Allen II. Jay Allen II is a really good defender. And he's really fast. I don't know if he'll ever hit in the big leagues, but he's hit in the minors. So I think he's a very reasonable starting proposition for a deal. Derek Fabian is just an infielder that happens to hit home runs every once in a while. And that's actually got a lot of value. He wouldn't be ideal at any of the three infield positions, but he could play any of them, and I think that is pretty valuable too. And Connor Phillips is my favorite kind of pitcher. He throws real hard and only has a bit of a control issue, which means this is salvageable. This is very salvageable. If we can just let him work with some of our coaches, he could turn into an excellent pitcher. I think this is the package. Unless Gabriel Martinez is something special. Gabriel Martinez is a very, very competent left fielder. I guess we shouldn't do it too quickly. But I really like that package. I think I just need to trust my gut here. Oh, hang on. Brian Rocchio, though. Oh, you'll give me 260 potential prospects. Okay, so Randy DeJesus is not a center fielder, but has a really good hit tool. I think we can move him to the corner and get ourselves a pretty fine outfielder. And Carlos Lopez is a borderline starting pitcher. I think he'd be better as a reliever, but interesting. I still kind of like that first deal we got, though. Because Jay Allen is really good. He does a lot of things really, really well. And I know and he's hit in the minors, too. So I think we take Cincinnati's offer. I think this is a reasonable choice. So the next step is I'm going to go ahead and sign as kind of a transition catcher. I'm going to sign Higashioka. So Jay Allen gives us another really excellent player. I think we also sent Kevin Alcantara to the minors and let him develop, but let's see. Is there anybody in the Rule 5 that is Rule 5 eligible that we need to preserve? Jay Allen II is a pretty obvious choice. Like, he's a genuinely good player, and I don't want to lose him for nothing. Well, I thought Carlos Jorge could play all three positions. He goes onto the 38 man. I don't want to lose Carlos Franco because I don't have a better catcher right now if somebody got hurt. Maybe have Susak too, but everyone else here I think is fine on the roster. Use is fine. Oh, how's international scouting going? Run one more practice, please. A trade proposal. Christian Betancourt. I don't dislike Betancourt, but I don't have that kind of money. And he's basically Shea Langoliers, but even more expensive. So I will politely but firmly decline. What did we get? A first round pick. Brilliant. I'm actually really pleased about that. Sorry, friends. This might be kind of a quiet off season just because, like, we're kind of crippled by our lack of future money. We're kind of crippled quite badly by it. So we might need to just start trading some people to clear things up. But for right now, it's fine. Let's go up to the Rule 5 draft and see if we can't find ourselves. Okay, you'd give me Jorge Barrosa. I'm not that impressed with that, though. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I declined this deal. All right. What do we got? Are there any interesting players here? There's several relievers that are of fairly high quality. Ricky Tiedemann seems like a good choice. I like him a lot. So I will... Although, is there a better player? Now, you're a very interesting player. I kind of dig it, actually. I like the idea of acquiring him and then putting him on the IL. Because I can do that and then potentially get more out of him next season. I will take Tiedemann since he's still hanging around. I'm not going to decline that. Oh, the fans like him. Cool. No, you're very far from the big leagues. Jack Zap Brannigan, eh? No thanks. I think I've got what I wanted to from the Rule 5. We got a couple of interesting players. Is there any other player I would like to have? Oh, I'd like to have Jorge Lopez since I traded for him and everything. Yeah, we'll waive JP Sears. I'll add Jorge Lopez, and then... I think I'm good. I think I got what I wanted to out of the Rule 5, so I will complete the draft. Damn, Drake Baldwin would have been a really solid pick if he'd been available when we selected. But he wasn't. Damn, look at the Phillies. The Phillies got like a starting rotation from the Rule 5 draft. That's pretty wild. Okay. Let us advance forwards in time a bit. JP Sears can go away. How much did he end up getting? He basically got league minimum or close to it, but Tyler McGill had just not been very effective. So that kind of had to happen, unfortunately. Okay, Higashioka has signed with us, giving us now 4 catchers on the 40-man. No, sorry, 5. Although Tyler Soderstrom is not a catcher. Please, 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 please keep him as a first baseman. I beg of you, do not try to put him behind the plate. I don't think he'd be very good at it. Probably Richard Fitz. Let's just trade him because he's kind of unremarkable and see if we can maybe upgrade to a more interesting prospect for him. That's fine then. I will simply try to get him through waivers. So that I can add the man, the myth, the legend, Kyle Higashioka. And wow, people really wanted Richard Fitz, so okay. I mean, if the dick fits. Oh, Verlander and Beltran both made it. Wonderful. Lovely. Okay, international free agent signing begins tomorrow. This is where Oakland has a chance to shine. 6.2 million in pool money, which is pretty dope. I love Alvaro Moreno. He is the best overall hitter, but I don't think he's the best fit for the club. I think okay, Alvarado can definitely catch. 100% offer a contract. Is there anybody else I'd really like to offer? Probably Oviedo, just because I've got a really good relationship with him, which means he's a lot more likely to sign with me. Let's offer a contract for you. Let's try Nelson Carrera too, just because he's fairly cheap. Alright, there we go. We've got some contract offers in. Let's advance a day or two. Man, if I could get all 3 of them, I'd be pretty pumped. I'm not gonna lie. We got all 3 of them. That's fantastic. Alvarado, in particular, I need to shortlist the shit out of. Because he could be legitimately special. Like, I'm getting real Andre Avila deals from him. So, yes. That's how you inject young talent into your organization, by spending intelligently. Um. Oh, I didn't mention this. I'm not going to move the team to Vegas. I just don't think that makes very much sense. Okay. So Ryan Cusick, I think, has to come off the 40 man. All right. How are we doing on time? Since this hasn't been the most thrilling offseason, we might just go all the way up to through the season two. We'll have to see though. Okay, player development update. Nothing super big has happened, which is fine. Okay, Zachariah Colnut. What a fucking name. Alright, Skeens, get your ass up there. Okay, Juan Camejo is only 17. I think he can stay in the rookie league for sure. Let us purge the minor leagues using the culling the minors list. Okay. You know what? Let's increase this to at least 35. That doesn't really change it, does it? Okay. Cut. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to adjust the age too. No, 23 is reasonable. No, really? Like, a 21-year-old shouldn't be in... Oh, here we go. Maybe I don't need the age thing. Like, if their potential sucks, there's really no point in keeping them. Right? Like, this is gonna... Oh, this is gonna cut 63 players? I can't cut that many from the minors. I would have nobody left in the minors, so I think we'll just wait and go from there. Recalculate things, please. There we go. And then update here. So Clark Elliott starting in left field doesn't feel great. If that's who you're going to start over Vavra, then I clearly need to do something about Clark Elliott. Because I don't want him playing over Vavra, who can actually fucking hit. Unless there's an even better left fielder. Let's check who's left in free agency. Oh, hi there. You're a very talented player that just doesn't play any position particularly well. I could make you into a designated hitter. Who says I can't? Is there a good all-around left fielder? Josh Naylor could be. One year. That's what I can offer you. I like the idea of acquiring Austin Barnes as well as a backup catcher. I don't mind him getting a nice salary if I do need to promote him. And I'll do the same with Cody Bellinger. There we go. All right, let's simulate 1 week. Carlos Jorge improving is very nice. That's the kind of thing to get you regular playing time, my friend. A 1-year $10 million salary isn't totally unreasonable, so I'm willing to give him that. Because I think he would be better than my current left field situation. Let's keep simming. Yeah, I'm not paying you $12 million. You can get fucked. Fujii's best hope is to be a DH at some point. Like, I think that's his ceiling. Because he doesn't play second that well. He wouldn't be terrible in the outfield, but I do think that's his best fit. I will promote. Let's just get people on the spring training deal here. Let some things happen, and then we'll make some decisions here. And another week, please. Actually, just do next month because I'll stop on April 1st, which will give me time to set the lineup correctly. Okay, Misner is quickly becoming like nothing. Again, you're tired of me saying it, but the most important ability is availability, and he just keeps getting hurt every season. I think Misner, we need to move on from him. For better or worse. We need to find something better. I'm just going to send Freddie Tarnock to the minors. Oh, I would have to, yeah, alright, fine. I can just deal with him later. Okay, day-to-day injury is whatever. I don't really care. Of course, Paul Skeens just instantly gets better for no reason. That's incredible. I love it. Alright, it is time to start demoting people and promoting people that need to be kept. So, this is probably obvious, but Paul Skeens gets a 40-man spot. Like, wasn't a debate. Basically, unless his arm detached from his body in spring training, he was going to get that job. Okay. I have 17 pitchers. I would ideally prefer 12 or 13. So the rotation is Skeens, Glasnow, Wright, Falter, and Manning. Okay. Alright, Zach Jackson to the minors. That's one. That's easy. What happened to you? Okay, you started throwing harder. You've lost, like, all of your stuff. Yeah, you can go back to Toronto. Enjoy. Smith to the minors. Ginn to the minors. I'm at 13 pitchers. I think of all the pitchers we still have that I haven't dealt with yet, who is the least useful? I'm going to send Cusick to the minors, because Cusick could still become a starter if we gave him some time. So I think that's... Okay, that's your pitching staff. 12 glorious pitchers, all full of pitchery goodness. Okay. I have 5 catchers. 5 catchers seems excessive to me. So Franco to the minors. Susak to the minors. And probably Barnes to the minors too. That gives a starting day catching tandem of Higashioka and Pozo, which is pretty good. Like how Kevin Alcantara magically became a first baseman. I don't know what your position is going to be at the end, but I do know that you need to spend more time in the minors. Because you got your shit pushed in last season. Jordan Diaz, I need him to be an XA post-haste. He just doesn't offer much. That's kind of what I was afraid of. I will happily waive him. Okay. If Fuji was even a league average second baseman, he would be on this roster for certain. I have too many second basemen. I have an excessive amount of second basemen I'm finding. I think Jorge is a clear candidate to go back to the minors. He's never played above AA, and so I think sometimes seasoning in AAA would make a lot of sense for him. I don't want Clark Elliott starting. Let's send him to the minors. Cody Bellinger wouldn't be a terrible choice to keep on the roster. Get us a bit of pop. Okay, there's too many second basemen. Nick Gordon. Okay, so Max Muncy I think stays. Muncy's actually really talented, and I don't want to send him to the minors. So Hernandez is one who goes to the minors. Do we send out Nick Gordon? I mean, he's really only a second baseman. Could I trade him? No, I'm not overpaying for a mediocre guy. Yeah, you're all just trying to shed salary. I think I'm going to waive him too. Which that means that both Cody Bellinger and Fuji make the Major League roster. Alright, let us recalculate the lineup. I mean, getting him to play left field is an intriguing idea that didn't occur to me, but I'm willing to give him the shot. He's an incredibly talented hitter. If he can make it work, I'm all for it. I'm going to remove where you stick Vargas in the lineup, but I'm going to let you decide. If you want to let him lead off at this point, I think he's better than some other options, so sure. That's what you decided to do. I mean, I don't like him being a cleanup guy, but whatever. I'm willing to let that slide. Fujii, low-key, might be one of the best short-term decisions we've ever made. Because he's a really talented hitter. And if he can just handle left field at all, I think we've got a really special player there. Do I want to force you to play Angeles at second base? The alternative is Max Muncy, right? And Angeles is better than Muncy, but Muncy is probably the better offensive player. I am going to let my manager decide. I'm going to pull Angeles' guaranteed second base gig. And see if you prefer to start Max Muncy there. Which you very well might. You might decide that's exactly what you're looking for. No, you actually do prefer to keep Angeles there, which is fine. Yeah. What is SL? What? I'm not sure. It's whatever. Okay. Wait, Rodent can play catcher? Really? Huh. Okay. This seems pretty good. I'm not convinced Allen play leading off is the best idea, but I'm also not convinced it's the worst. So we're going to see what happens if he can handle the everyday rigors of playing in the big leagues. Playing Muncy frequently at second base is just going to make him more useful. And Muncy's future might even be at third base. Because our next ridiculously expensive guy that I'm not positive is worth keeping is Miguel Vargas. So there are choices to be made here, and I am curious to see how they work out. Friends, I think... You know what? I'm going to end the episode here, but I'm going to leave you guys... I'm going to ask you to comment below. Do you want me to start playing full seasons with the Oakland ASIM? Like, it's possibly might have a lot more exciting off seasons to come. But our big problem is that I don't have future money. Because John Fisher is a raging asshole, which everybody already knew, right? Like, that's not a mystery to anybody that he's a raging asshole. This is the same douchebag. It's moving the A's to Vegas, where I don't think they'll be terribly successful, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, do let me know if you'd like me to start playing the full seasons. Or if you think these episodes are just right, if they're nice and short and you're enjoying the current length of them. Hey, he'll be fucking happy that we're making money, so that'll at least let me keep my job, which is nice. But until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.